Hey everyone, and for this assignment, we're treating the city like a geopolitical document because geopolitics is not only ministries or embassies, it's space, who owns, who moves through it easily, and who gets pushed out. Our project is called When Space Becomes Place, Power in the City. We chose Cape Town, South Africa, after focusing on District 6 and its boundary with the city bowl. Our thesis is simple. Architecture and planning are not neutral. They can function like rules, deciding who belongs, who feels safe, and who is invincible. And the key idea we're applying in this one from Stephanie Henaro, you don't talk to the whole country. You read one concrete place and decode power theory. Before we jump in the case, here's the method. This is where we directly follow Genaro's model. Genaro reads part of Mexico City as the narratives of power, exclusion, and memory. We're doing the same thing, but in Cape Town. So the process is first observe where there are walls, roads, layout, entrances, lighting, signage, surveillance. Second, identify who can move freely and who gets slowed down, watched or filtered out. Third, connected to the history and institutions, state policy, capital policing, and then finally interpret what it means, what kind of order is being imposed, and who benefits from it. Now the case. District 6 isn't just a neighborhood, it's a symbolic territory. Historically, it was dense, mixed community, and then it became a space of absence because of the forced removal. Right next to it, you have the City Bowl, which is one of the most central high value zones, institution, businesses, and prestige. What interests us is the boundary between them. Even if there isn't a little checkpoint, the edge works as a filter. The infrastructure and the economics of the area produce a message. Some bodies belong here, others out of place. This is where Macy is useful. Place isn't just a spot on the map. Place identifies power and meaning, and those meanings are contested. In other words, the border between District 6 and the City Bowl isn't just physical, it's social and political. This slide is the moment space becomes place, the turning point. And in our case, it's when policy uses space like a weapon. First, the apartheid era removals. The state didn't only displace individuals, it removed an entire community from a valuable zone and rewrote the city's social geography. Second, you get memory politics. People resist erasure by insisting on names, stories, and claims. Third post, 1994, redevelopment and gentrification pressures identify. Value returns faster than justice. And here, Lebefre matters. The space you're looking at is produced by law, planning, capital, and policing. So what seems like urban development is actually a continuation of power through different tools. All right, now Jonathan will walk us through the map points and how the space communicates to the power today. Thank you.
Thank you, my partner Bernardo. Now we move into the interactive map section. This is the core of the assignment 3 to 5 points inside one symbolic area. So, first of all, point number one is the District 6 Museum. The museum is more than a building, it's a counter narrative. In Genaro's style, we treat it like a political text. It tells us what the city wants to remember and what it tried to erase. This connects directly to Harvey's right to the city. The museum represents a claim that displaced communities still have a right to belong, not just visit, not just to be remembered, but to be recognized as legitimate urban subjects. So here, architecture isn't neutral. It's a tool that protects memory and challenges official forgetting. And now we move on to the redevelopment and power. So now points two and three: the cleared land or former residential grid and the redevelopment boundary leading into the city bowl. This is where you see how exclusion can happen without a literal wall. The separation is enforced throughout design, zoning, property values, and mobility patterns. Wide roads, edges, and soft barriers that control who naturally enters and who feels out of place. This is also where we bring Frank Lloyd Wright's idea. Form reveals power. The scale of roads, the openness versus emptiness, and the way movement is guided tells you how the space is designed for. And Massey fits here too. The politics of place is visible because the area's identity is being rewritten from community to vacancy and from vacancy to investment territory. So we have an image here, as you can observe the perimeter and all the things I just told you. Now we go to key findings. And so, what do we do when we conclude from the readings? When we synthesize them, we have three main findings. First, space. Space codes belonging, the built environment, access points, surveillance, visibility, comfort, quietly defines who is normal in the area. Second, memory. Memory is a battleground. District 6 proves that displacement continues even after physical removal. Throughout redevelopment, narratives, and selective commemoration. That's very narrow. Space becomes a story, and whoever controls the story controls legitimacy. And third, rights are unavailably distributed. Harvey's right to the city is clearly unequal. Institutions, developers, and elites can reshape the space, while others have to fight just to remain visible. And trying it back to Lefebvre, this isn't accidental. This space is produced by social relations. History is built into the layout. And to conclude, who belongs? Well, what power structures do we really see here? Planning, property, markets, institutional presence, and the policing of movement. Sometimes direct, sometimes indirect. What is being protected? Often its value, image, and order. And what's excluded or erased? People without access to capital and communities that were removed and then written out of the everyday city. So the main lesson is that geopolitics happens at sidewalk level. A city can look normal, modern, and open while still operating throughout gates, filters, and invisible borders. That's exactly what the assignment asks us to do. Apply Genaro's model in a different city and prove that architecture can become a weapon. And thank you very much for your attention.